Hey friends, welcome to part 21. So we are looking at all real questions. You will get same or similar questions in the exam. So there is a link in the description. Please click and become a Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja member to gain access to important questions. So let us look at this question. So you have a stream analytics job and you are using it to process incoming events from sensors. Okay. So for example, these are your sensors, and here you have Azure streams. Okay, and then these guys are sending messages, and you need to process the events to produce a running average of shopper count. So you need to process it, and while you process it, you also have to tell what is the running average in the last 15 minutes, and that has to be calculated at a 5-minute interval. See, I remember it this way: whenever you see two different time periods, no? Two different time periods means like you got 15 minutes and calculated at 5 minutes, so you have to hop 5 minutes 15 minutes 5 minutes 15 minutes. It's hopping. That is why I click hopping. So this is hopping, and you can see this diagram. There is always a overlap, so that is like every 15 minutes 5 minutes and those kind of stuff. Here you see this every 5 second, you see this every 5 second. Give me count of tweets over last 10 seconds, such use cases. So whenever you see two time periods, consider you have to hop, hop, hop. So this is our answer. Okay. Now let us look at this question now. Okay. So you are developing a solution. Okay. And then you will stream to, that means it's a streaming solution to Azure Stream Analytics. You know what Stream Analytics is meant for. Number one real-time analytics service. So you will have streaming data, you will have reference data. Streaming data is the data real time it is coming. Reference data means it's kind of a lookup. So which input type you should use for reference data? See, reference data you have to keep it somewhere, right? It's the file, suppose CSV file. In one of the questions in the previous parts, we saw a CSV file. So reference data you have to keep in a CSV file, for example. Where will you keep it? You will keep it in blob storage here, because see, you need object storage. You will keep it in blob storage. See, Cosmos DB, we don't do anything with streaming sort of use case. Okay, and Event Hub, it is primarily a big data streaming platform, and Event Hub is a modern big data streaming platform. Simple. So there is nothing to do with big data. We are talking about streaming data. And then if you look at IoT Hub, so IoT Hub is like you have to connect, monitor billions of IoT assets. What are assets? Sensors. Sensors are assets. So here we are not connecting to sensors or IoT devices. If you look at Stream Analytics, it supports only two types. Either the reference data can be in blob storage or it can be in SQL database. So this would be our final answer. Let us look at this next question. So you have data factory instances. So what is data factory used for? We all know it is used for ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. Okay, and now they have a dev instance. So they have this one, a dev instance. They have a prod instance. Okay, so this is dev, not dev. This is dev, and this is prod. Now dev connects to DevOps, Azure DevOps. So get repositories, they are connecting there. Why they connect? Usually to put their code. So this is related to DevOps. Okay, not related to data loading. So you are publishing from main branch of the Git repository to ADF dev. Now you need to deploy the artifacts from ADF dev to prod. So that means from here to here. Artifacts means suppose a code script you have to send. So what should you do first? So the first thing is always create a pipeline, a release pipeline, because this is a part of release management. Anything you are moving from dev or test to the production box, this is release. The moment you move to production, this is release management. So you have to create a release pipeline, release pipeline, release pipeline. Always remember this. So release pipeline, this is a set of stages and jobs to automate process of deploying the softwares to production. Okay, so you have a planning stage, you have an approval stage, you have a deployment stage, validation stage. Okay, so this is important to understand. These are the different stages of a release pipeline. Now if you look this at this next question, you need to schedule a data factory pipeline to execute a new file arrives. So I'll just draw a diagram, it will make it clear. You have Azure data lake storage. Okay, so this is data lake ADLS storage. Okay, and then a file comes here. The moment a file comes here, you should activate ADF, uh, that is Azure Data Factory. This should get activated and say, hey, I got a file, now let me process it. It should immediately get on the job. Now which type of trigger you put? So it's the common sense. What is happening here? What is happening? Event is happening. What is the event? This file came, this is the event. So you should use an event trigger. The moment the file comes, ADF will fire. This is an event trigger. Okay. Schedule, when we use, suppose we know at night 9 p.m. every day I have to run this job. But this question is not telling you so. On demand means I will not wait. I will myself manually run the job on demand. That will not help. You have to run it when the file comes, not when you are free. So let us look at this question now. See, this is a question on Azure Analytics query. You're building an analytics query, and who's giving you data? You are getting data from Azure IoT Hub, and you are writing results to blob storage. You need to calculate the difference in the number of readings per sensor per hour. So you have to complete this query. Okay. Difference. What is difference? Lag. That means between the time, this time and this time. What's the difference? Difference is a lag between this and this time. What is a lag? So here we have to use lag. Last means whenever the last data came. So that is not what we want here. And partition the sensor ID by what? So if we have to partition by limit duration here. Okay, limit duration. First, let me explain you lag. So what lag is? It gives you the difference between the current value of a variable and the previous value. And last, if you see, it refers to the most recent value. Read refers to the process of retrieving value of a variable from a data source. Stream analytics, the lag analytic operator allows you to look up the previous event in the event stream. Now let us look at partition by clause. The limit duration that we spoke about. This specifies the amount of time that the partition by clause should consider when grouping events. So this can be useful for limiting the amount of data that is processed by a query. Now offset is like how many events you have to skip before you partition clause works, and when clause is a boolean expression that must be true for an event to partition by clause. So this would be our final answer. So if you're not, click the link. There is a link in the description. Become a member. So these questions, these are all important questions, and a lot of important questions are in the paid area, and you will get same or similar questions. We have recently cleared this certification since the previous one expired. So just, you know, be focused on the concepts we are explaining, and you can clear the certification. What I saw is the questions, the options are jumbled up. You will not get the options in the same order, but if you understand the concept, you can clearly pinpoint this is the answer. Okay, so let's see you in the next part.